Okay, I want to give you a variation on a deadlift today. I'm going to do a 1 1/2 rep. Now, let me say this. You need to be strong before you want to even try this, okay? So check with your trainer first. You need a strong core, because what you're doing is you are first increasing the total time under tension, and second, you're working in the weak range of motion. From the ground only to halfway up. And the tendency is, as you fatigue, to start to roll over and round your lower back. You never want to do that on a deadlift, okay? So I'm going to go over the form of a deadlift with you first, and then I'm going to show you the actual set. As with any exercise, the first thing you want to do is you want to have a tight core. So it's like someone's trying to punch you in the stomach, and you're protecting yourself against that. Your back stays straight by lightly pulling your shoulder blades together, and you're looking straight ahead. And that position doesn't vary depending on how I move my body. If I pivot down, I'm looking down at the ground because I'm keeping a neutral spine and a straight back, tight core. It's especially important to remember keeping a tight core when you're bent over, because that's when we most likely want to let it go. So a proper deadlift, and this is just a regular deadlift, is approaching the bar. And by the way, I'm wearing fairly flat-soled shoes. If you wear shoes that have a pretty steep decline angle, you may want to go barefooted, or you may want to use shoes that are flatter, okay? But what you want to do is you want to have the bar right against your shins, and as you pull the bar up, you want to drag it up your body, okay? The further out it is, the longer the lever, the more stress on your lower back. You want to minimize that. You also want to be able to pull as much weight as you can efficiently in order to get stronger quicker. Tendency here, when I grab the bar, is that what I want to do is I want to hunch over. See, I'm hunched over right now? I want to correct that before I lift. So what I'm going to do is tighten my core again, and I'm going to pull my shoulder blades down and together, okay? So everything's straight. I got that straight posture I was telling you about. From here, I'm just going to take a breath in, hold it for a second, and come up, down slowly, put the bar back down. And I'm going to repeat the repetitions if I'm doing a regular deadlift, and I have a video on how to do that. Please remember on the way down not to lose that tight core and not to lose the tight shoulders, okay? You want to keep them back, not let them angle forwards. What we're going to do on this particular deadlift is we are going to only come halfway up at the beginning of the rep, go back down, tap the ground, come all the way up, and go back down and tap the ground. That's one rep. Halfway up, all the way up is one rep, okay? So one rep is elongated, and like I said, you're in the weak range of motion by keeping it in only moving halfway up at the first part of the lift. It's incredibly fatiguing, okay? So just watch yourself. Choose a weight that's going to allow you to get through the 10 reps without losing your form. Be very careful about that, okay? So here's what it looks like. This is the 1 1/2 repetition deadlift. And remember, in this case, we're doing more a bodybuilding style of deadlift, which is where we're just tapping the ground, keeping tension on the muscles, not dropping it completely, and then re-engaging the whole chain in order to get the bar up again. So here's what it looks like, okay? 1 1/2 deadlift. Okay, one last thing. You'll notice at the top of the deadlift, I did not come all the way up and fully extend my hips. That's by design. The powerlifting style of deadlift wants you to come all the way up and have everything locked out. That's how you train strength. But if I want to keep tension on the muscles, at the top of the lift, I stay bent over ever slightly to keep tension on the posterior chain. So there it is, the 1 1/2 deadlift.